What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I had a really good uploading streak, and then this week came, and I don't know. Content has just been weird this week for me. Like, in general, I just feel like content has been slower for me this week. Today's topic is patience, and the lessons learned within patience. There's probably a lot more than what I'm going to list, I'm not going to lie. But here are the ones that I've at least come to figure out, or the ones that have been for me so far. And in different seasons, you'll have different lessons to learn within that patience period. Through patience, I've learned many lessons. Lessons about myself, lessons about other people and dealing with other people, and then lessons with God. I just want to start off with this. I think it is unfair for God to have to be patient with us when we are sinning, and then we don't have to be patient for God to work in our lives when we want something. Our timeline is a lot shorter than God's. In this life, our timeline is a lot shorter than God's. But we have eternity as well afterwards with Him. And so sometimes we can get frustrated when we have to wait for things. Sometimes watching somebody else progress when we are not, it sucks. I'm going through that right now. I'm honestly going through that in such a level that honestly, like, I hate it. I don't like it. I've been struggling within my trading the past 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks, and I have not seen any progression that I thought I would see within this time frame. And it's not like I don't study, it's not like I don't backtest, it's not like I don't work on what I need to progress and grow my skill. It is simply that either where I'm going isn't ready for me, or I am not ready for where I'm going, or maybe it's both. And so why should I say, God, I'm being patient with you and I'm starting to lose my patience and hurry up with what I want? And what if He's like, dude, I have it right here, like we're getting there, but you're just hitting walls here. Like, you think you deserve that? You think I want to put you there when you still have these issues that you haven't dealt with, that you haven't faced? You think these problems that I keep bringing up to you to fix are healthy for the season that I want to put you in? It could be a mix of everything, but let's say there's other people involved that have to do with where I want to put you, and they are not ready. Or this place that I want to put you in, it's not ready, but you can keep growing at your pace. Like, you're not taking huge hits, so why not be patient? Either way, it's like, look, God has to be patient with us in a lot of things we do. He has to be patient with waiting for us to ask for forgiveness and to apologize for the wrong that we have done. And so, therefore, why do we have to ask God for things on our timeline, in our time frame, and without the patience, when He is waiting for something that we may have thought was small? He is waiting our whole life and then bringing us back to it. Like, hey, remember when you did this? Hey, the reason why you have this problem now is because remember that thing you did? Like, yeah, now that's a problem. Or maybe it was something was done to you and you held a grudge. Now that grudge was a seed, and now it's a clutch. Now it's holding you back. Now it's slowing you down. Because you didn't let go, or that seed became something that is bearing bad fruit in your life. I don't know. And I had this conversation recently because I was asked, like, do you think that things would be better for you if your situation was different? Do you think you would be able to progress faster if your situation was a little bit different? And I said, I don't know. Because I don't know if I deserve a different situation to grow in. I don't know if I deserve the growth yet, because maybe there's something that I haven't learned. Or maybe, again, I don't think that the place that I'm going isn't ready for me, because God could place me anywhere and then make it work. I don't think it's that. I really think it's me. I really think I have a problem that I haven't resolved yet. I really think that I have something that I haven't fixed yet, or a mindset or a perception that I haven't worked through yet, that He wants me to let go of. I don't know. I do pray and I ask for answers. Or maybe it's just a season of waiting. Maybe it's not a punishment. Maybe it's just, I just want you here for a little bit longer. I just want you to remember this season a little bit longer. I just want you to feel this a little bit longer. And honestly, one thing that has stood out to me, and I've heard it 3 times, roughly 3 times, 3 good times, and it stood out to me. It's God has been telling me, be still and know that I am God. And I'm like, but come on, man, I'm taking these losses. It's hurting the account. And I can't be taking these losses anymore. Like, it's hurting. Okay, then be still. Know that I am God. Be still. Stop trading. Stop making these decisions that are costing you then. Be still. Know that I'm God. I need that promotion at work. I'm working really hard. I'm trying to prove to my bosses, I'm trying to prove to my higher ups that I am that good for the promotion, to fit in the position, but God, they're not doing it for me. Okay then, be still and know that I am God. God, I've been throwing all this money at my business. In the last episode, I told you guys that my business failed because I didn't take the step back to pay attention to the numbers. And again, it's like I had to go find a job. But in that moment, I didn't think, well, I should just keep pushing through this and pray that it all works out. Instead, I said, God, you know what you did. You know why you caused this issue. This issue's out of my hands. I leave it unto you. I will find the next thing that is going to work out for me. And I ask that you place me in the next best place. And so he did. He put me in a job. And I moved up that ladder pretty damn quick. Honestly, the fastest that I've ever seen myself progress. I have not seen that type of progress in my life ever. Since then, I have not seen that type of progress. But again, I was still, in those moments of my life, I did not worry about where I was. I did not worry that year before I just lost my business. I did not worry about I had just a certain amount of income. I did not worry about I was driving 2 hours to and from work and that I needed to figure that out. I did not worry until it came up and there was an opportunity to move forward. I was still. Without even knowing it, I was being obedient. I was still and I was letting God work in my life. And then I got to a point where I'm like, all right, God, let's go. I'm in a good spot. Let's go. And then he's like, dude, okay, I get it. You want to push, but right now, again, like if I'm in that season right now, it's like, be still, know that I'm God. I'm working on it for you. Don't worry. Like, don't worry. You're doing good as well. Or maybe you're not. I don't know. I think it's like, as long as I'm trying. I think as long as I'm trying. The last episode was slow down to speed up. And I think this relates with it. Is sometimes we need to be patient. Sometimes we do need to sit in a season. Sometimes you plant the seed and it has to build some roots first before it starts growing up. What is it? Like a bamboo tree? You plant it and for like 6 or 7 years it doesn't grow. And on like that last year, year 8, it grows like 6 feet, 10 feet in like 6 months or something like that. Can we say that the bamboo isn't doing anything? No. Doesn't mean that you're going to see change within 6 or 7 months like a bamboo. But you can see it with 6 or 7 years. You thinking, I'm not seeing it right now, I may not ever see it. Well, it may take 6 or 7 years. It may take more time. I think David waited 13 years to fulfill his purpose or his place of being king. And then when he got it, he still messed it up. You might be in a season of waiting. You might be in the waiting room. There was a time where you weren't even where you're at now. So maybe that space that you're in, that season that you're in, that threshold that you're in, it might last a little bit longer than you want or than you expect. It's like when we go to the doctors. You go and sit in the waiting room, and then doctor comes and gets you when he's ready. You may have shown up 5 hours early. Doctor's not going to come and get you till he's ready. God's not going to move you forward until he's ready for you to move forward. Now, if you take matters into your own hands, you start manifesting it, you go the wrong way around it, and then you start doing it yourself, you're going to find yourself some issues that you are not prepared to face. And God can't help you through those things because those are decisions you made on your own. He didn't prepare you for those decisions. He didn't prepare you for that issue that you're going to face, or those things that you are not putting yourself in, or those people that you're going to surround yourself in. But what does patience actually look like? Does patience look like just sit and not do anything? Sit at home, sit in front of my TV, sit in a chair, just nothing? Lay in bed until somebody calls me and tells me, hey, I got this job for you. That's not it either. I like the verse, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open to you. First part is ask. First thing, when God created everything, he spoke it into existence. He didn't go looking for the resources. He didn't go looking for a space in the universe. He just spoke it. He spoke it into existence. So where do we start? First, we start asking. We ask people around us. We ask people that we might know. We go and ask for a job. We go and apply for a job. And that's the second part. First, you ask, okay, more or less, where could I go and ask for a job? Or who can I go to for this promotion, to ask for this promotion? Okay, for this position, you need an application. To scale up in your job, we need to relook at your resume. You need to put in a resume to have this job. Or if you have a business and you want clients, you go and look for those clients, and then those clients will decide later if they want to call you back or not. But the second step is apply. Nothing's happened yet. You haven't gotten the job. You haven't gotten the paycheck. But also, you didn't just lay in bed and wait for somebody to come and get you. Ask, and you shall receive. Seek, and you shall find. You ask a group of people, or you ask yourself, where's a good place for me to go work? Where actually do I want to work? Ask, come up with your base, seek, you go and look for what you're chasing for, and then knock, and the door shall be open for you. When I was selling solar door-to-door, I'd go, and sometimes the door wouldn't even be open for me. Sometimes the door would be opened, but they weren't interested, so that door was shut immediately. Rarely would I get somebody want to sit down with me and actually talk about the product. But what did it take? It took the work and the effort of knocking every day, every house, every door, every opportunity that I would get, it would take to go and knock on that door. Eventually one opened. Not everyone opened. Eventually one opened for me that there was an opportunity. Whether it was to, maybe it wasn't a sale, but maybe it was just an opportunity to practice my pitch, to practice on what kind of questions I would normally get, so then I can study harder into the product that I was selling, so that I could sell it better, so that I could promote it better, so that I could answer better questions to see if it was a good fit for the person or not. Nothing has happened yet. I still have not received that paycheck. I still have not seen that result. I have asked, I have seeked, and I have knocked. I am still being patient. Patience does not mean completely quit. Being still does not mean completely quit. Being still just means keep going at the speed that you're going at, with the momentum you're going with. When the time is right, your door will be opened. Your opportunity will come. Be still does not mean quit. Be still means keep going. Keep going. In what you're doing, don't quit. Again, if you're doing sales, if you're in business, if you're just looking for a job, or if you have a job and you want to progress, or if you're day trading like I am, be still doesn't mean sit there and watch the chart all day. Sit in front of the computer and don't do anything. Don't even take a trade. You're going to see your opportunity. Don't take a trade. Be still and know that I am God. Just don't. That is not it. If I see my opportunity, I have to give it a try. I have to try. I have to put in that effort. I have to test myself. I have to test my skills. I have to, no different than anything else. When I was working, when I had to go back to get a job, it started with go and ask. I got a job. I applied, got the job. They called me back. Hey, this is what you're going to be doing. Okay, word. I applied to go drive truck because that's all I knew how to do at the time. And then they threw me in equipment. Hey, we need you to go run equipment. And I was like, well, I don't know how to run equipment, dude. Like, what are you going to have me run? I know how to run some things, but not really good. It's okay. We just need you to fill in spaces while we get people that know what they're doing. Okay, that's fine. My opportunity opened without me even asking for it. I promise you that changed my whole life. Because now I learned a skill. Me asking for a different opportunity opened the door for me to have a new skill that changed my life. I can now go to any company, construction company, hey, I'm not just asking for a job to drive a truck, but also to run equipment because I know how to run equipment. But if I would not have said, let God be God, me be still and still keep progressing, I could have stayed at home and not even look for a job, not asked. Honestly, I asked a friend. He hooked me up with a job. I went and put in the application. They called me back and told me, hey, come and work. But if I didn't even go and ask for that job, I wouldn't have had the opportunity. And honestly, the first week that I worked there, it kind of sucked. And I was like, well, this is really slow, kind of boring. But again, just be patient. Like something will come out of here, like something eventually. And then even still, when that door was open, it had its own set of challenges where I had to then learn to run the equipment, where I had to then learn how to read the GPS, how to read the what's it called, the map, the model, there you go. I had to learn how to read the model because I didn't know any of this. In getting thrown into the machine, I had to learn these things. But never in there did I say, God, I just wanted to drive truck. God, this was not what you had for me. Or, I mean, I honestly was just going with it. God knew what he was doing. He put me in these opportunities. If I would have kept pushing for that trucking business that I had, who knows where I'd be? I'd probably be in more debt, bankrupt, or maybe successful. I don't know. But can I say that God had that opportunity for me lined up when I lost my business? Yeah. Because it has changed my life and it has been for the better. The fruits have been for the better. Now, does that mean that's where the story ends? No. Because it eventually got to a point where I switched companies and then I started getting impatient. This is taking too long. I want to go back to running a business. I want to go back to pursuing that entrepreneurship. And it's like, God's like, be still, know that I'm God. Slow down, hold on. Look for something first. How about you look for something? You tell me what you're interested in. Okay, so I mean, one day through Instagram, I started scrolling and I was just like, oh, this girl has a GTR. I want a GTR. What does she do? I click on her Instagram. She's a day trader. I'm like, I can do that. Oh, you're interested in that? Okay. There's your door. Doesn't mean everything was inside that door. It's been a tough journey. Could have been anything else. Could have been sales again. Could have been online marketing, or what's it called? Like drop shipping kind of stuff, like TikTok shop or whatever. You guys know what I mean. I could have had an online store. It could have been an online store. It could have just been content again. It could have just been, and it could have been content because I was like, I could actually record at work and then get really good at this equipment thing and then build a channel based off of, and like some people do it. And I'm like, I could do that, but I didn't want to do that. Okay. So you don't want to do that. Out of that door, go knock on the next one. See what else you like. Patience can be exciting. In the moment, it might suck. It may not be fun. The season that you may be in may be stressful. It might not be joyful. When metal is getting forged, it goes through extreme heat. That doesn't mean that it's going to be worthless metal. If anything, it is the strongest metal. It is getting forged. It is going through a period that sucks. It is being tested patiently in the fire. And then when it comes out, it is tested for its strength. And if it holds, it is sold as good metal, forged metal. If it fails, it goes back into the oven, it goes through the whole process again to where it gets reforged, and then it gets tested again for its strength. And it's a cycle until it passes. And if the metal ever breaks, it goes back to the forger to get forged again. Whatever that process may be. And so for a season, that forged metal was working until it broke. Same thing with anything else in life. If you're a tree, let's just give a tree for example. If you're a tree, there are seasons you are fruitful, you are full of fruit. There are seasons that you don't even have leaves. You just have branches. You have dead branches that don't have anything, not even leaves. You don't have fruit or leaves. You're in a dry season. You're in the winter. Here's one thing I learned this week. I had a dream earlier this week. I had a really odd dream where I had a branch sticking out of my head. And I just knew that I had to snap it off. And I was just like, this is a little bit overgrown and it doesn't look right. In my dream, it was just normal to have a branch sticking out of my head, but it was just like, it was a little bit off. And so I had to just like trim it so then it was proper for that time or whatever. I don't know. It just seemed normal. Like everybody had branches coming out of their heads. I don't know. Then I woke up and God reminded me of my dream later that day. And he's like, pruning. And I'm like, oh yeah, they do that to trees. Pruning. Oh, wait, that was my dream. Am I being pruned right now? Is this time of patience, is this winter period, this December through March, where I think I am dry and my time is still and I'm not seeing progress and maybe I should quit and maybe this isn't for me and maybe this is just something you are trying to tell me that you don't want me doing this anymore and that's why I won't succeed? Maybe this season is just a pruning. Maybe this season is a patience. Maybe this season is a testing. Maybe this season is a growth. I forgot the verse, but it's in John. It says, he cuts off my dead branches and he prunes my good branches to become fruitful or something like that. It was painful. I remember in the dream, it was painful snapping off that branch coming off my head. It was painful. But you prune a tree, because it was a green branch. I don't know why, but it was emphasized that it was a green branch. Like it was trying to bear fruit, but it was not. Okay, snap it off, let it grow again. Maybe the next time it grows, it'll be fruitful. This podcast, no views on YouTube whatsoever. I just started getting my first handful of subscribers by posting shorts. I had not gotten any traction until I posted shorts. Still no views on any of the podcasts. To those of you actually watching on like Spotify or Apple or whatever it is you're listening on my analytic page on Spotify for creators, I'm able to see that I am getting some traction, at least through the actual podcast apps. Maybe not on YouTube, but through actual podcasting apps. I am getting some kind of traction. But be still and know that God is God. Maybe keep posting consistently, keep posting. He told me this year to document. That is one thing that he told me that he wanted me to do for this year is document. And honestly, it is so embarrassing uploading my losing trades day after day after day after day. It is so embarrassing. But God told me, document. This year, I want you to document. Okay. If that means uploading every single trade I take the rest of the year, the other 250 days that are left or whatever of the year, uploading 250 losses plus, it is for God's glory. He wants me doing that. For whatever reason, that's what he wants me to do. If it is post losses for the next 3 months and then the last 6 months of the year, post gains or mixed results, that is what he wants. Either way, I should be obedient and I should keep doing what I'm doing, what he's told me to do. Be still, but do the assignment that he has given me patiently and know that he is God. No matter how much it sucks, no matter how much I want to quit today, no matter how much I want to say, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to find the next thing because I suck at this, no matter how much somebody else is doing better and I just am like, why can't I be that good? That's almost bad comparison. That is almost bad comparison. Because, it's not like, I would like the outcome, I would like the good outcome, I would like to bear the fruits now, I would like to eat the fruits now. I'm not there. For whatever reason, I am doing content and I'm uploading and I'm documenting and I'm doing the work that God has called me to do right now. And maybe if I was profitable and fruitful, I wouldn't be doing this work and I would put it aside and maybe that's why he's not letting me. But who knows? Maybe I would be documenting the wins. Maybe I would be documenting the fruits. But that's just not what he wants. Who knows? Maybe he's just forging me. Loss after loss after loss after loss after loss, so I can go back and learn more lesson and another lesson and another lesson and another lesson, more tools, more resources, more understanding. Eventually, it'll make sense. Patience is not always quitting. Actually, I think patience is not quitting. I think patience is that slow growth in the dark that nobody sees until your seed sprouts and it comes to light. Then God does something with it. We can take the example from anything from nature. Any flower grown comes from a seed. That seed has its process to grow, eventually has its flower, eventually bears its fruit. It has its proven time. Doesn't mean it's always going to be fruitful or it will be as fruitful as you expect. Sometimes you plant something, it dies. But I think those seeds are the ones that die. I believe those seeds are the ones that you chase yourself. God called you to plant a certain seed or a certain amount of seeds. Maybe in the midst of you trying to make that hurry up, you start planting more seeds because you want more. You don't think he's going to provide. You don't trust that he's going to provide. So you're just like, I need 10 tomatoes. I only planted 4 seeds. I don't think he's going to provide the 10 tomatoes. Let me plant 6 more seeds to get a tomato from each one, and then I have my 10 tomatoes. You're going to lose the other 6 because that's not what God had called you to. He called you to 4 seeds. If I start chasing business, if I start chasing drop shipping, if I start chasing something else that he has not called me to, those seeds are going to die and I'm going to have time wasted, money invested, time invested into those seeds that were just going to die anyways. They were not for me. Within patience, there are lessons of understanding as well. Sometimes we want the world so that we can give something to people around us. So we see people around us struggling and we just really want to help that person. But if we had what we needed or what we want to give to that person, we might be causing them more pain. And I have seen this. I've seen this within my life. I remember praying, God, if only you had given me X amount of money I can give to X person and they could fix their situation right now. And God's like, don't you think that I would have done that for them if I believed that that was the better situation. And I'm like, yeah, actually. Okay, so why do you think I need to use you for it? You don't. Okay, so here's the reason why you don't have it yet. Good lesson for you to be learned in this moment. You don't have it because you would give it, they would waste it. You would give the seed that I gave you, you would give the fruit that I gave you away, and then they would waste it. You wouldn't even enjoy it. And that might bring bitterness to you because they didn't use it the way that you thought they were going to use it. And we get that a lot. As people, as humans, we get that a lot. I let somebody borrow money, and then they misused it. Now they can't even pay me back. It's like, well, know the people that you're borrowing money to. Or I gave it to them, yes, but they still misused it. Okay, if you're angry about that, first off, it was a gift, don't worry about it. Second off, if you were that worried about it, you shouldn't have given it to them. It doesn't even have to be money. It could be a car, it could be a house, it could be, it could be land, it could be advice. It could be just a simple advice of like, do it like this, that, and there, and then things will work out for you. I know it because I've done it before. And then they take that, they do step 1, and then 2 and 3, they do whatever they want. Hey, this didn't work out for me. What do you mean it didn't work out? Well, I did step 1, and then the rest didn't come. And I was like, well, you didn't do step 2 and 3. So what do you expect? Well, no, your method just doesn't work. Like, what do you mean? It does work. It's worked for me. It's proven. I just told you to do step 2 and 3 afterwards, and you didn't do 2 and 3. I think sharing wisdom is one thing, but fruits, because fruits are a gift, I think that one's a little bit harder to share. We are given abundance to share. We are given an abundance of fruit to share. But sometimes, again, it can bring bitterness among ourselves when giving it to the wrong people or when we are not ready to give. I'm a giver. When I have to give, when in the summer when I'm working a lot and I have a high income, high hours and high income, I'm a giver. I give freely. I really don't care. Right now in the season, in a dry season, I'm not much of a giver because I have a dry season. I don't have to give. I barely have leaves. Let's say it. I barely have leaves. God still calls us to give. Whatever leaves we do have still calls us to give. And I think that is something I'm honestly struggling with, where I'm not trusting God to bring in that income. Maybe that's why I'm not seeing progress. Again, I don't know. I have started it though. I have started it. Okay, I see these losses. I see this pain that I don't want to see. But also I'm not being very giving as I have been called to be. Okay, I'm going to start small. God give me some kind of strength or discernment to understand what I'm doing, to understand how much you want me to give, what you want me to do with the giving. Be very careful when you ask for patience. Patience sometimes will suck. I have asked for patience many times, and over again, it is, okay, then start over. Okay, then start over. Okay, then start over. And I'm just like, no. I want patience, not starting over. Okay, then start over. But I'm asking for patience, not to start over. Okay, but in order to, every time you have to go through this phase, you have to be patient with what it takes to grow. Just because you planted an apple tree doesn't mean that next time you skip the seed part and go straight to the tree. Okay, I get it. So you got to learn to be patient. You got to learn to be patient through the season of when that seed will grow and then start producing fruit. Patience sucks. But again, it doesn't mean quit. It doesn't mean completely stop. It doesn't mean wait for it to come to you and be given. It doesn't mean wait for somebody else to move out of your way. Patience just means keep going at what you're doing at the pace you're going at, because that was what you were called to do. That was your assignment. Keep going at it. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to ask you guys for your honest review, though. What do you think? Is there anything that I missed? Anything that you think you would have added to that? Is there anything that you liked? Let me know down in the comment section. If you're on any streaming platform, leave me a 5-star review. That'll help the channel grow. That'll help the message get out to more people. If you believe the message needs to go to more people, give me a 5-star review. I'll see you guys in the next one.